Hello, and welcome to the Raise Waves podcast. I am your host, Raylene. Just sit back and ride the wave.
So what happened was this friend in Edmonton wanted me to come up there, and so there's better opportunities for bands and that.
Oh, okay.
So I went up there and
you did?
checked it out, but it was just way too complicated. I didn't have a vehicle.
Yeah.
And I went to a couple of jams, but they were lame. Yeah. Wasn't going to go anywhere.
So did you move there or no?
Just for like a couple of weeks.
Oh, just check it out.
Yeah. So then I hitchhiked back home.
Really?
Yeah. Because I got in a fight with the guy that wanted me to come and stay at his place.
Yeah.
But, you know, didn't have a job, didn't have any money.
Yeah. You didn't have a vehicle either. You didn't have a vehicle either. A vehicle.
That's right, yeah. So it was hard to even go to a job interview. I had to catch a bus and whatever. So anyhow, I went back home, and the next day after I got back home, I got a job, and I got a call for being
to
in a
work back in
band.
Waterton. Oh.
No, being in a band.
That's what I say.
This time with somebody else's
So you
band.
weren't bandless for that long.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest gap.
Wow.
So, I joined this band. It was a country band
Oh no.
called Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed. And
Seems fitting for Lethbridge.
back in those days, the top original band in Lethbridge was called Moses.
Moses, really?
Yeah. And they had just broken up, and the guitar player was a friend with me. He wanted to put together an all original band, but you know, that's a lot of work.
Oh, writing your own songs.
Yes.
Instead of just doing covers.
So he had another friend that was pretty good at getting gigs.
Yeah.
So we put together this country band called Tumbleweed. So it was Jim Smith. So that bass player that I was working with before,
Yeah.
except he was a roommate now. Lynn Johnson, he was from Moses. Me on drums, and Jack Carney, yeah, on keyboard. And we didn't practice or nothing. We just got a gig and went and played.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to do that?
Just go by what you think it sounds like.
Okay.
He knew the chords, he knew the words. There you go. I just had to put in the rhythm.
Some beats.
Yeah. So we had that band for the end of, so I guess from the summer, whatever, it was May of 77.
What? We're still in 77?
Yeah, because Tarantella broke up. I went to Edmonton for a couple of weeks, came back, got into Tumbleweed. And so I was playing in that band and working. And we were
Who's the fourth
working on the project, I guess so. Like I see. Still?
Yeah.
Tarantella.
What?
No, Freefall.
Yeah, Freefall. You're totally missing.
Tarantella.
Yeah. And now you're in
Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like a rock band. I wonder what road that one was.
No,
So,
it started with Poppy.
pop band.
Rock.
Try to be a rock band.
Try.
Disco band.
Funky.
Country band.
Okay. So we made it to Tumbleweed
Yeah.
in 77.
But we were working on the original project.
Yeah. Okay.
So we had to write or make up like 30 songs. We didn't have any, right?
For Tumbleweed?
No, for the original project.
So are you like juggling two bands right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Playing on the weekend in Tumbleweed to make some money.
Yeah. And then
I had a day job in construction.
Yeah.
And we would be working. Since Tumbleweed didn't practice, so we'd be practicing with the project band,
Yeah.
the original project.
All right. Okay.
And it was going slow, like, you know. I didn't care about Tumbleweed and the country stuff because it was just a throw together. It was like,
Yeah.
nobody really knew their parts properly, and
Did you make money?
oh yeah, but I mean, we were like C circuit, the B or C circuit. It wasn't an A band, that's for sure.
Okay.
So then what happened was it was a different bass player who was the guitar player's brother from Tarantella.
Oh, okay.
And these two guys came from Surrey. Actually, there's three of them.
Oh.
Three brothers.
Oh, brothers.
And they had a band, but it was a Beatle band.
Oh.
So they did a lot of Beatle stuff. Anyhow, Gene was a pretty good singer. So he wanted to know if we would put together a high energy rock band. So it was going to be Gene on bass singing lead, Bob, his brother, playing guitar, me on drums, Heggie on keyboard.
Alright.
I think that was it.
Still got Higgy?
Heggie came back. Well, Heggie was a roommate at this time now. And then what we did was we got Dan Lynn. So Dan was playing rhythm guitar, so it was rhythm, lead, bass, keyboards, and drums. So everybody sang. Well, yeah.
Okay.
And we were doing cool stuff, and we actually became quite popular. And the band was called Pipe Tree. So I quit Tumbleweed, and Pipe Tree started getting gigs.
And do you still have this, the other band?
The project band, yeah.
Yeah. So that's still happening?
The project band still. So Lynn and Jim stayed in Tumbleweed.
Yeah.
They got a new drummer.
Now you're in Pipe Dream.
And I'm in Pipe Dream. And they were jealous because Pipe Dream was doing really good.
I bet. Well, maybe because you practiced.
Well, we learned cool songs and were able to do it and had good vocals.
Good.
But ultimately, it was supposed to be the project band was supposed to have precedent once we were able to get able to get out and play.
Yeah. Of course.
And because Lynn had the U.S. connection, because Moses played on the road in the U.S. all the time.
Yeah.
So he was playing in Chicago, and L.A., and Seattle, all the big centers, right? So he basically promised us that if we get this original project together, he could get the agency behind us and they would book us. We would travel in the States.
Okay.
So that was like my ultimate goal, because when I started playing in bands, I always wanted to be on the road, but I never got on the road.
Yeah.
All these bands were just local.
Yeah.
And of course, the ultimate goal was to write your own material and get on the concert tour.
Yeah.
But it's a long process.
Of course.
So the project band was there. Those two guys were in Tumbleweed. And I was in Pipe Dream. And we were doing really good. And we were kind of like, we got to play in the A rooms. So the A rooms were usually having traveling bands from Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, Edmonton. And being a local band playing in an A room was not, you didn't get that opportunity very often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's back in the day when bands would travel and they'd play a week. So they'd arrive Sunday, set up, play Monday to Saturday, tear down, move to the next town.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. That's a road band. And that's what we wanted to get to,
Yeah.
except in the States. So Pipe Dream again was just a local band. So anyhow,
Well, at least you're playing what you like now.
well, with Pipe Dream, yeah, but then we were working on the project, which was all original,
Yeah.
which was difficult to do because
Yeah.
there's no familiarity. Nobody recognizes
Of course.
the material, so they get bored.
Yeah.
They can't play a bunch of unrecognizable stuff in an audience and last very long.
Yeah.
Nobody will come and see.
Yeah.
I mean, Moses might have been heroes in Lethbridge because everybody thought they were going to make it big, but so they were supportive. The local community was supportive, but
Yeah.
I don't know what it was like when they were playing out of town.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Still working on the project band. Pipe Dream's taken off. It's 1978. Everything's going really good. And then we finally got to 30 songs in the fall of 78. So that took basically a year to put together.
Okay, yeah. Well, there's
Oh, we got to go to
intersection coming up.
899. 899 North.
So is that still straight or are we going to turn left?
I don't know. Let's see what the sign says.
Yeah. Okay, so can you just elaborate more on like the music that you played in Pipe Dream?
Well, we started Pipe Dream, and we wanted to be kind of like a high energy band, so we were going to learn some music that was on the radio.
Right.
So we were doing some, for that kind of stuff, we were doing like Paul McCartney, Let Me Roll It,
Wings, yeah, okay.
or Jet.
Yeah, okay.
We were doing the Guess Who, No Time. We were doing Jerry Doucette, Mama Let Him Play. We were doing Led Zeppelin, like Tangerine.
Okay.
And Chilliwack, Fly at Night.
Oh, so and you do that now?
Yeah. So, and all those songs all went over really good.
So, would those be considered like pop?
No.
Top 40?
Top 40 rock, yeah, I guess.
Top 40 rock?
Yeah.
Like back then?
Back then.
Okay.
So, all that kind of music was on the radio.
Right.
That's why it's called Top 40, because it's on the radio. Is it passing light?
Yeah, it is passing. This guy's passing this guy.
So, because it was current music, that's what made us popular.
Yeah.
Because it was currently recognizable. We also did Beatles stuff. Okay. Because we had the Stracquest brothers in the band that used to have a band called Mac Valiant from the West Coast, and we were doing some like weird Beatles songs, like not their
not
hits.
Really the popular ones.
Yeah, like Glass Onion.
Did you do Monkberry Moon Delight?
Yeah, we did Monkberry Moon Delight
and Pipe Dream.
And probably. Yeah, I think we did Monkberry Moon Delight in.
Because you did it in one. I don't remember what band it was.
I think it was Tarantella. We did it as well.
Okay.
But we did some stuff from Ram, because we were doing quite a bit of Paul McCartney. We were doing current Paul McCartney and Band on the Run stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Chet. And we had done some Venus and Mars stuff as well.
Yeah.
Magneto and Titanium Man. Okay. So we did quite a bit of Paul McCartney, and so it had that Beatle influence, and then the Canadian content with Chilliwack and the Guess Who and Doucette.
Nice. Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
So we not only were playing, high school graduations and cabarets and
that's cool. Yeah.
sport cabarets like rugby club or soccer, or hockey.
That's sweet because back then there were no DJs. It was you bring bands in.
Yeah.
For everything.
DJs were just kind of starting out after the disco era took off.
Okay, yeah.
So this was in 78. Well, disco kind of just started in 77.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's what was going on there. Excuse me. So.
And how long were you with these guys for?
Pipe Dream for about a year.
Yeah.
So from the fall of 77 to the fall of 78. And we had pretty good vocals. The two main lead singers were Dan Lynn and Jim Hagelin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And when we started, because we evolved. Go ahead.
I thought you had that girl. Was that in the band? Like you took her from.
Oh, that was Freefall.
From Freefall.
Well, we had.
You took her from Silk
to Freefall. Freefall didn't last very long.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Flipper quit, got married, and moved out of the States.
Right.
Then we started Tarantella. It was just too big of a band. There's too many people in it.
But that would have been cool because there were so many people, right?
Well, yeah, but the money didn't go that far.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
And so when we did, so the guitar player from Tarantella and his brother moved to town. He was the bass player. He ended up marrying Arlene,
Right, yeah.
the girl. And then he, Gene, and Bob, we started Pipe Dream.
Right.
Like, Gene called me up, he wanted to do it, but he didn't have a practice place or a PA or a van. So he called me, then I put everything together, and as usual, I get the gigs and all that stuff. So that's all going good. Then Bob quit. I can't remember why. His wife was in university, or they were going to move back to Surrey or something. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
So we got Dean Bonney.
Oh, you replaced him. Okay.
Yeah. So he was a really good lead guitar player.
Yeah.
Really mellow guy. You know, took direction really well.
Yeah.
Always wanted to be in a band, but he was kind of like a fringe guy. So he worked out really good.
What do you mean, fringe guy?
Well, I mean, like, you know, he'd be at jam sessions, that kind of thing, but he was never really in a band full time.
Okay.
Like we were. With gigs on the calendar.
Kind of a flake then.
No. He just never had the right connection.
Okay.
Anyhow, so I recruited Dean in, and then we then Gene quit. So it was kind of like he was a good singer and all that stuff, but I don't know. They were gonna have kids. I think Arlene was pregnant, whatever, so he wanted to quit. So then it was like we couldn't get it. We kept changing bass players.
Right.
So we had like about 3 different bass players. So
Pipe Dream.
yeah, the problem with a band is when you're changing a person, you got to go back into this rehearsal hall,
Right.
and relearn all the songs again, which is a pain in the butt because you're stuck in those 35 songs.
Yeah.
Anyhow, then we got Terry Hoople, and he was a good bass player. He was working out really good, but he didn't sing either. So we had 2 guys that didn't sing. The guitar player and the bass player didn't sing, so it was up to Hegland and Dan singing all the lead and me singing some backup.
Oh, wow.
So we definitely lost out when Gene left because he was a good singer. So we had 3 lead singers when Gene was in the band. We were doing some Billy Joel.
Really?
Stranger. Yeah.
Well, Hanky was probably a really good pianist.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He was more of a honky-tonk piano player.
Okay.
But he was still a good piano player.
Yeah.
For being able to play Led Zeppelin stuff. Yeah, and Billy Joel. So that band was doing well, and we started doing some other kind of crazy stuff like Werewolves of London, Bebop Deluxe, and Charlie. So these were all kind of like not top 40 bands,
No,
FM bands.
That's for sure. Yeah, I don't recognize any of them.
And so when we play that kind of stuff, people thought it was our own.
Oh, because they didn't know.
That's right. Because they didn't
funny.
recognize the songs. So
Yeah.
they thought we wrote it.
That's funny.
But it was good stuff.
In the meantime, you were working with this project.
So the project band was ready to go.
Yeah.
So now I had to pull the plug on the pipe dream just when it's at its peak,
Oh,
which I didn't want to do.
because you had to be all in for the project band?
That's right, because the project band was going to go on the road.
Oh, sheesh.
So the situation was, Vendetta was ready to go. Lynn and Jim, they didn't care about quitting Tumbleweed because it was just a throw together band. Their focus was on the project, Vendetta. Me and Heggie, however, were doing quite well in Pipe Tree. We were quite a popular band around town. We had a gig at the Alec Arms, the A-Room. Everything was going quite good. But we were going to have to leave Pipe Tree to kick off Vendetta. And Jim and Lynn were pushing us to do that. And we weren't too keen yet, so we thought, okay, well, we'll play a gig. So we got a gig at the El Rancho Cabaret, and it was sold out. And everybody was there, and everybody was supportive, and it was overwhelming. So we thought, oh, this is it. We're gonna be stars.
Wait, what? This is Pipe Tree?
This is Vendetta, our first gig.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Everybody received all the originals. It was all good.
Awesome.
So, me and Heggie left Pipe Tree, disbanded Pipe Tree, and Vendetta was launched. Now, unfortunately, Lynn, his connections in Missoula, Montana, Rock and Roll Productions, the company had all changed. They weren't interested in bringing a Canadian all-original band down to the U.S.
Oh, sheesh.
So I had to get on trying to find some stuff. So I went to, I think it was Studio City was the name of the company. Met a guy, his name was Locke Buchanan. And he got us a gig in Calgary. Didn't go over that great. Or actually, no, he got us a gig in Lethbridge. No, we had a gig in Lethbridge. He came down to see us. And he basically said that, what are you doing? All these songs, nobody knows them. That's not how you do it.
Oh, sheesh.
You got to learn a bunch of top 40 stuff, and you got to improve your vocals, and you got to maybe slip in 3 or 4 or 5 over the night of your original songs in between all the top 40 songs.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it was Locke, because we did play a gig in Calgary at the Crossroads.
Yeah.
But again, it was kind of lame. People didn't stick around. They weren't lined up at the door. So the reality of the all original band was, and Lynn's idea. So basically, Lynn had his idea: we need to be all original. Wrong. He could get us into the States through Rock and Roll Productions or whatever they're called. Wrong. Nobody wanted to hire us. Nobody knew the material. So what I did was, okay, I got Dan Lynn, who was in Pipe Dream. He was a good singer.
Yeah.
So we needed another singer. So I convinced him to join us after we had fired him or quit the band.
Yeah.
And then we started learning a whole bunch of top 40 stuff, Chilliwack and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I started getting us some gigs. Everything was starting to pick up, but the dream of playing on the road, I don't that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So
what band are you in right now when you're
Vendetta.
And you're learning all these top 40 stuff?
Right. And then slipping in some original material.
Yeah, okay.
And I got us gigs in A rooms. So things were starting to pick up. And then I got a gig in Fernie at the, I think it was called the Northern Fernie.
Okay.
Anyhow, we get there and set up and everything. And then Lynn and Jim had checked in. And they said, here's your key. And I get this crappy room that didn't even have a bathroom in it.
What?
I think it had a sink.
Be in the sink.
And after we played the night, I went to Lynn and Jim's room for a drink, and they had this beautiful room with a bathroom,
What?
2 double beds.
Sounds racist to me.
So jokingly, I just said, "Oh, this must be the leader's room."
Yeah.
And then all of them jumped on me and said, "You're not the leader, Don."
Oh.
And I go, "Oh, okay." So then I thought about it, and I thought, it's my PA, my band, I get the gigs, I got the Studio City guy, I got Dan Lynn, but I'm not the leader. So that really bothered me. I put all this work and effort into this stupid project band that was built around Lynn's reputation. And wasn't working out. So I was pretty upset that these guys were treating me like that after everything I'd done.
Yeah, you only noticed this after when you got those rooms.
Pardon me?
You only noticed this after when you got those rooms.
Well, it was just a joke.
Yeah, but
they all jumped on me.
Yeah.
So the next week we were playing at the A room in Lethbridge called the Red Lion.
A room.
Yeah.
It's good.
It wasn't.
Oh.
There was nobody there.
That's cool, man.
And at the Place. So you know where the Place
Oh,
is?
yeah.
That used to be called the Place.
Yeah, before Average Joe's.
There was a band from Edmonton there, and it was lined up. And then I heard that it was the girl that was in my first band, Silk, Maria.
Okay.
It was her band.
Oh,
She had moved to Edmonton,
okay.
and they had put a band together.
All right.
It was her and her 2 sisters and her boyfriend. So there was 4 singers and then 4 musicians, 8-piece band.
Wow.
And they were basically a disco funk band.
Okay.
And the place was lined up. So we were playing. We had to play from 8 to 2.
8 to 2?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Sheesh.
And there was nobody there. Nobody came in till like after the clubs closed at 1.
Yeah.
So we'd get a little bit of activity between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I think it was like, it had been a tough week. Friday, we're boyfriend Rick, they come in on their break. It was either on their break or after they were done.
Yeah.
They watched.
Watch you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had actually, they were going to put this band together in Edmonton, and they had asked me to come up, and I can't remember. I remember going for dinner with them,
My turn.
and I went to see him play, to kind of like audition him. What?
Keep going straight on 7?
Yeah. You stay on 7 all the way to South.
Oh, okay.
So anyhow, they had asked me to join their band.
They're already 8-person band?
Yes.
Really?
But they were first putting it together in the summer. Before Vendetta started.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
They had called me up and I had gone up to Edmonton. And I don't remember if I auditioned or not. But I do remember, I think I did. I went and saw Rick's band that he was leaving, and they were forming this new band. And because I went up with my band and my drums, did an audition, and they wanted me, and I said no because I was doing the project band.
Yeah, okay.
So I said no. So now that would have been like, I don't know, the summer of '78, and so now here we are in January of '79, and we're playing at the Red Lion. They're playing in the place, and they come over. So we finished our set, or we're on a break, I can't remember. And they wanted me to come over for a drink.
Yeah.
They said, well, how's the project band working out? And I go, oh, not very good. Too much original music, and the agent said that we have to do this and do that. Here we are. I mean, look at, there's nobody here.
Yeah.
And they said, well, how much you making? I said, nothing. I think we made like $150 each for the whole week.
Okay.
It wasn't anything. It was minimal. I'd be surprised it was probably $100 each. Anyhow. I said, how would you like to make $300 a week?
Don't they already have a drummer?
Yes, they did.
So 2 drummers now?
No, they wanted to get rid of him.
Oh.
Everybody wants me all the time.
Alright.
I was the Ringo.
You were the Ringo.
Yes. Well, the Beatles had a different drummer too, Pete Best.
Yeah.
But once they got Ringo,
Yeah, that's right.
that's right.
Rocket ship.
Because the Beatles played around for like 4 years. Played in Germany, Amsterdam, Holland, England. Nobody was interested. And they got Ringo. So I said, well, I gotta think about it. So like the next day he's phoning me. Well, you think about it? Well, not sure. So I thought about it. Thought, here I am, working my tail off, trying to get gigs, making peanuts, And these guys are all ungrateful.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my PA, my van, my everything, my gigs. So I said, yeah.
Alright.
So I finally made it on the road.
You made it on the road with that band?
With that band.
What was it called?
Atlantis.
Atlantis. That's great. So they are a road band.
Yes, they were from Edmonton.
Alright.
And they were going from Lethbridge to Saskatoon, where we're going.
Oh. Well.
And so what happened was
What happened?
wow,
You don't know how
pile of cars. I said to them, okay, I'll join, but we have one more gig next Saturday. And I can't walk out on the gig.
Yeah.
But we don't have any more gigs after that. So
Did they wait for you, man?
I'll tell everybody. And I'll quit Vendetta. And then I'll meet you in Saskatoon.
Oh, so you drove there?
Yeah, so what happened was,
On your own?
well, I had to take my van and my drums, and
Yeah, of course.
take some lights and stuff. Didn't need no PA, they had all the PA and everything.
But it was still yours, you said?
Yeah, I left all that in Lethbridge.
For that band?
Nope,
You just left it in Lethbridge?
left it at my house, yeah.
Oh, okay. Good.
So we played the last gig on Saturday, and it was some kind of cabaret, I don't know. And we remember we met at my house at the kitchen table to work out the cash, because it was a double bandstand. There's two bands. Jack had put it on, the guy from Tumbleweed.
Okay.
He had started a new band. He was going to show Lynn and Jim that he could be in a project band too. Anyhow, applied the cash up and everything, and I said, okay,
Oh,
that's it. Done. When? Now. Oh, you can. Sorry. Not the leader. So whoever is the leader, go and find some gigs and get a PA and get a van, and good luck. And a new drummer. And I'm done. And then the next day I loaded up and drove to Saskatoon.
alright. On the road.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
Well, I would have been 79. For my birthday. So, I was 22.
22.
Huh?
22.
22, turned 23.
Okay.
Turned 23, because I went out in
February.
January.
Yeah,
And I turned 23 in February.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, pause it.
Thanks for hanging out to the end of this podcast. As always, stay hydrated and ride the wave.